Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be calculating three simple cap rates using the price and using the net operating income already given to us. So all we need to do is calculate the cap rate. So let's jump right in. So our first example, we have an asking price of $700,000. We have a net operating income of $27,000. So you remember that the formula for cap rate is cap rate equals, let's use an equals. Cap rate equals net operating income over price. In this case, it's asking price, but if you're the one buying, it's going to be the price that you want to get for it. So it'll be the sale price. But in this, we're just going to use price because it's essentially the same thing. So what do we do to calculate this? We're given the numbers, so we're just going to plug them in. $27,000 net operating income. And then underneath, price, $700,000. Very simple. So what does that equal? If you plug that into a calculator, these exact numbers, what you're going to get is 0.038. So that might seem a little bit low, and that is. See, this is the cap rate as a ratio. So as a ratio, this over 1, that would be your cap rate. But typically we express cap rates in percentage points because cap rate, you'll remember, stands for capitalization ratio. And a ratio means something compared to something else. So net operating income compared to price is the cap ratio. So actually what we want is not 0.038, but we want it as a percent. And the way we do that is multiply the top by 100 to get it as a percent. So I'm dividing it here by 1% or by 0.01. But probably the easier way to think of it would just be times it by 100. So if we multiply this by 100, what do we get? 3.8. And we'll put a percent sign. So 3.8% cap rate. So what does that mean? So for reference, here in Sudbury, we're getting about 7. You can expect to get about a 7% cap rate on multifamily properties. A couple years ago, you might see them going as high as 10%, but that's going to be extremely rare now. If you're talking about a good neighborhood, something outside of the Flour Mill Donovan, you can expect lower. Probably something like this would be pretty reasonable when you buy the place. Now, that's excluding any improvements, increased rent, anything. We're just talking about the numbers when you buy the place. So this is just to tell you what it's earning the day that you buy the property. All right, so let's move on to the next one. That one, the asking price was $700,000, and this one's only $170,000. So you might think $170,000, that means that our cap rate will be better. The ratio will be better because our asking price is lower. But you remember that it's a ratio. So it's all relative. And what you get in one place, one neighborhood, might be favorable, and what you might get in another neighborhood would not be favorable. So in this case, we got cap rate equals net operating income, and we were already given that, and then we've got our price. So what does that give us? If we plug that in, net operating income is $12,000 over the price, which is $170,000. And I'm just going to power through these now because this video is getting a little long, and you just want to see how to calculate the numbers. So what does this equal? If you plug that in your calculator, again, you'll get 0.0, that looks like a 6, 0.071. And again, if we want it as a percent, because usually these things, when investors are talking to each other, when realtors are talking to each other, we're going to express it as a percent, not a ratio. So as a percent, that would be 7.1%. And usually it's just the one decimal place when we're talking about cap rates. Sometimes two decimal places. In this case, I'm just going to round it to 7.1%. Okay, let's whip around. This is a bigger one. So again, cap rate equals NOI, net operating income, which if you don't know what that means, that's perfectly okay. Just today, we're given the net operating income, and we'll put that over the price. So what does that give us? Again, we're going to plug it in, $660,000 over the price of 7 million. And what does that give us? If you plug that in your calculator, I already got the number down here, 0.094. 0.094, that's as a ratio, but we want it as a percentage. So we're going to times it by 100. What do we get? We get 9.4%. So out of the three of these examples that I've given, which one has the best cap rate? Well, cap rate is easy to know. You just look at the biggest number. So in this case, 9.4%, that would be the highest cap rate. What would be the least favorable cap rate? This one, 3.8%. So buying a place for $700,000, but it only has a net operating income, which is per year, it's always per year, of $27,000, will only yield a 3.8% cap rate. Yield and cap rate are interrelated. They're kind of related. This one, if you pay $170,000 for it, not much up front, you're getting $12,000 a year, which means your money is yielding a 7.1% cap rate. Now, it's not really that little, it's not really that much. It all depends on the deal and what you end up doing with the building after you buy it. Because things like financing are not accounted for in this. So the last example, 9.4 cap rate, what does that mean? It means on your $7 million, discounting any financing, like I said, your net being $660, that means your yield on that $7 million is about 9.5%, 9.4%. And again, that's per year. So in other videos, we'll go over things like net operating income, how to tell if you're getting a good cap rate or not, and how to inverse this whole formula so you can calculate the net operating income, or you can calculate the price knowing what cap rate you want to get. All right, that's it for today. Hope you guys have a good day.